Al pie del Ávila majestuoso, a 920 metros sobre el nivel del mar, en un valle de verde geografía que se abre de este a oeste, surge Caracas, la capital de Venezuela.
And now, our feature presentation.
You are watching a master at work.
Go get some!
Hey, how's it going? My name is Rafael Chacin. Good morning, everybody. And I apologize for all those technical issues because we just came back. And apologize for that. But right now, we are ready to rock and roll. Capitán Rafucho arrived in the building with another episode of Straight Outta Nation. More than the greatest podcast, it's just like a podcast where the culture unites, where the football and basketball collide each other. Because not only we can talk about Raiders, but also we can talk about the NFL, college football, and college basketball, because we're in the month of March. You know what that means? That means this is the March Madness, and of course, which is the free agency of the NFL. So, how you guys going right now? Because it is the perfect morning, a glorious morning. So, I apologize to everybody else because I know that my microphone is, well, not working, but you still hear good? You guys hear good? Yep. All right, so salute to Roy Pena, salute to you. Top of the morning. So, I'm very glad that, well, I just came here, to enjoying this. But, right now I just wanted to talk about the NFL combined and, of course, the free agency. Now, the only thing that I just came to attention, which is T. Higgins getting the franchise tag for the Cincinnati Bengals. That's very shocking at all. Because I understand that between T. Higgins getting the franchise tag, because some of those teams that just wanted to get interesting, like for example, Las Vegas Raiders, Tennessee Titans, a lot of those teams that just wanted him so bad. But right now, it is officially franchise tagged by the Bengals. Maybe on that reason, when they moved like an 18-game season, and they wanted to get rid of the second, third tag because that affects so much a small amount of NFL players that most don't give a fuck about like CBA talks. Because for me, it's gonna be tagged until his retirement. Well, if he has the opportunity to say, "Hey, I'm officially retired," because now this is gonna be so much interesting. But you know what? I'm going to officially retire it. So that's it. But the funny thing is, if he never gets injured, that actually works in his favor. But the hope, if they can get a deal done, that they had to see about it. At the end of the day, if you had to get something to him, so that at least you can make able to get something on trade. Because aside from the franchise tagging, it's been 2 years in a row. It should be like against the rules, because this is basically like in bad faith and exploited the system. If you don't know about like exploited the system when tagging a player in consecutive years, is a pretty much scenario that father about and explicitly spell out the rules of the franchise tag. I will say if the Cincinnati Bengals using the system, it was intended to be used it. But literally, they just holding up hostage at that point. Because for me, it was just like always a question of how they get the deal done before the free agency starts. Yep. I mean, they would let him for nothing. I mean, they would have traded for like a list for Miles. I mean, it's still thing that it get done. But let's see if the organization can really step it up. Because the only issue is, are they willing to pay two wide receivers each $30 million? Plus, if Higgins is closer to 27 million, that maybe his camp knows that it can make it an open market. But I don't think that T. Higgins will be happy about it. But they're gonna be upset for everything. But I know everybody that just wanted to a stunt. I know everyone the 32 teams in the NFL, including for us, they want the stud or a light wide receiver in free agency. But do you seriously think they were going to let him to test to market? I mean, what the fuck are you doing? People have no clue what's going on because that was like very inevitable. And it doesn't impact the likelihood of a long-term deal because they knew this would happen. They knew because, for example, Cincinnati Bengals, after they just made to the Super Bowl, now they just came to the bottom. And how are they going to rebuild that miserable defense and offensive line? Pay Jamar Chase, 40 million a year, T. Higgins 35, and Burrow 50 a year. Everybody knew that the tag was coming. But I just don't understand what it comes to end. It's gonna sign it? Well, yes, it's gonna sign it. But it looks like the negotiations are going good or going bad. Because let me ask you for a question. What's the difference between normal content and franchise tag? And I'm waiting. I'm waiting. But I think it is increasing the chances he's gonna be traded. If it locks for him, if they get for something. Because any deal will almost include like a new contract because he surely is gonna leave out as a free agency. They're gonna be a smart move or a dumbass move because they wanted to secure for another year. I mean, that can really hurt his career earning potential. It's a matter of guaranteeing money, years, and a number of the multi-year deals that you can sign for your career. So they can get like a 4-year deal last year when he's 24. If he continues to produce like he's going to like the second pulse rookie deal around 28 at the peak of his prime, but surely like it is still producing at a high level at 30 and the average start to decline, so it's very risky. I feel sorry to make like $16 million in his career after the season, but it's the reality of the current season. But some of those teams they really like T. Higgins, some of the guys they don't. But he's very good, but he has never had too much drama surrounding like the best player in the position more. I mean, the people forget about the Devontae Adams drama because he just won so bad a multimillionaire trade because he just wanted to get out to Las Vegas and moved out with his partner in crime, which is Aaron Rodgers. A dumbass move from the New York Jets. If he could play more than 12 games of the season, then maybe he wouldn't earn a contract with Cincinnati. That guy has been never been like a Pro Bowl, and sometimes going to be handicapped with the sales by giving 30 million per year. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. So, what can I tell you? What can I tell you? And of course, after that, I was talking about like the franchise tag of T. Higgins. Now, I just wanted to make sure this is going to be like a short stream talking about the combine and a little bit of free agency and draft. But I just wanted to blast on this one because I don't think that Las Vegas Raiders could draft Shedeur Sanders Because you know why? Because it's gonna be like an unpopular opinion. But check this out. I don't think the Las Vegas Raiders could draft Shedeur Sanders. Because after the whole hype, after the whole emotion, it reminds me of like a Jamarcus Russell version 2.0. Guarantee. Because I don't want it to see like affect him the same. Because it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't want it to see like Shedeur Sanders going to Jamarcus Russell 2.0. It's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. But a lot of fans, before the draft, and of course before the season ending, there are some cryptic messages for Shedeur Sanders to say, "Thank you, God," that they say, "Oh, it's talking about the church or the Sunday service," but in reality, they talking about, "Oh, they need so bad Shedeur Sanders. They need so bad Shedeur Sanders." But I was like, people they're begging to draft Shedeur Sanders to be a competitive quarterback. But listen, folks, I don't think it's gonna be really safe to draft Shedeur Sanders. But who's gonna be like the odds? Because I understand they were looking for a quarterback. And Colorado superstar Shedeur Sanders, which is the son of Deion Sanders, the prime time, is going to be available when they're going to select during the draft in August. But it's going to be more than 0, less than 100. Because besides with all that, I don't think it's going to be really safe. After all this hype, because besides for like the weakness, just for the fact that because the quarterback start teams were supposedly looking in the way. And that guy, which is Shedeur Sanders, is a huge red flag. And there is no chance. Because you know what? I just wanted to make simple and short. His arm is slightly above average, not very athletic, and he panics on the pocket. Is this the real choice? Is this a real choice for you? You gotta think twice, because there's like a lot of fans, including content creators and beat writers, they wanted so bad Shedeur Sanders to be a quarterback for Las Vegas Raiders. But he had to think twice. It's not gonna be the answer. Not gonna be the answer. It's not good enough. Not good enough. Because if you see Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Dylan Gabriel, Jalen Milroe, Taylor Edsuma, Graham Mertz, but people that just want to slide on it, Shedeur Sanders. But it's very interesting that, especially for the draft, I mean, I don't think it's gonna be like a start. For me, Shedeur Sanders is gonna be a bust, just like Shedeur Sanders, just like Jamarcus Russell. Because if you remember, the first pick of the draft, the Las Vegas Raiders, which is like the Oakland Raiders, back in the decade of 2000, when they drafted Jamarcus Russell as the first option, you know what they did? It became a bust. Thanks for those guys they want to hype so bad. And no, I'm not gonna sell it out on Shedeur Sanders because it's not gonna be the answer. I'm sorry, but it's not gonna be the answer. So no. For me, there is no chance. Not. Nope. Not at all. So what can I tell you about this, folks? I don't think it's gonna be really safe, but no. I don't think it's gonna happen. A lot. But you know what? There's like a lot of options, like I said before. But if they wanted to fail out like number 6 of the party than turn the card in. I mean, who else is going to happen? I mean, there's like a lot of options for quarterbacks. Jackson Dart. If you people thought that he reminds me of like Gardner Minshew, but he's a mobile quarterback. He has the same athleticity for Gardner Minshew. At least he's not eating boogers, to be honest. At least he's not boogering around. But also, Jalen Miro could be like a second and third round project. Huge arm, running threat, but has accuracy issues. It might be like a failure. Some scouts they're even saying it could be like a first round pick, and I don't know, it could be like a reaction and everything. Well, precise at everything, precise. But at this point, I mean, when you're thinking about Jalen Monroe, you're talking about Anthony Richardson. You're talking about him between Indianapolis Colts. Yeah. But also, there's Taylor Atzelman, another random fielder, a quarterback from Canada who showed up at the Senior Bowl and showed everyone that his arm is strength and accuracy, but they have no idea what they will mock. It kind of like an unknown commodity, but those teams, they knew they had to do research a lot. But for me, I don't want to sell on Shedeur Sanders. I'm sorry, but it's gonna be like a big no. It's gonna be like a big no. So no Shedeur Sanders. No. And I know there was one option that I could myself get in, which is Mason Graham from Michigan Wolverines. Yep, they still in the trenches because I don't think that Mason Graham could fail this. I think it's gonna be like the safest choice, safest and shocking pick for Las Vegas Raiders. I really can only imagine Mason Graham being taken under Matt's wing because I know he's another Michigan. Because I understand that Matt Crosby College is Eastern Michigan. Mason Graham is Michigan Wolverines. Because when I just heard about Mason Graham, it's a teammate that sounds like Matt would step into the practice field, he'd just be an absolutely dog, looking to impress his team as a player. Because I know that'll be insane. That'll be insane at all. Because he just weighed 30 pounds less than expect. He's not like even 300 pounds right now because that's insane. Because he moves like, but he thought it's gonna be absolutely freak playing to pretend to white. But the skill set is very, I don't know, redundant with Christian Wilkins, and that could be like something heavier. And what I just saw between for like the NFL Combine, the defensive tackle class of this year is heavy as shit because they were rather to use like the pick six or the 30 rank offense, but it couldn't make it happen. Yes, because when I just say no to Shedeur Sanders, I say yes to Mason Graham because look, I understand what happens. He has a blue chip prospect, and I understand that some of those guys are getting old, and Butler is not getting younger either. You know what? Mason Graham could be like the perfect choice for Las Vegas Raiders. Could be the answer because they need to resolve the D line. The defense line could even more monstrous than it's supposed to be this year. Can you imagine this? Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins, Mason Graham, Coons, Cleon, rotating to the other end. I mean, that could be very explosive at all. Talking about like a running back or a defensive back at the top 10 pick, it tries everything. Because if you see like at a good pass rush, that makes backers and secondary turns much easier Because if I was John Spatek, I would snatch Graham one of the two big tackles. I'll stay because of if they have crazy but very good rate for the selected to the top 15. If they can take like the pick number 8 in the top 100, I will do that. I will do that. But I just wanted to tell you, most football games are won and lost in the trenches. And some of those teams, they build him. And Mason Graham could be like the great answer to make it right. So I was saying. So I was saying a lot. Mhm. And I know that what are the free agencies that are coming up there in March because right now they're coming hot. And you know, there is a message which is very interesting because I'm going to check this out. All right, shout out to one of my big brothers from the Black Team Broadcast, Big Corey. They just say anything. It's lion season. The NFL draft is in 1 month and free agency is in 1 week. While a bunch of people are going dressing up opinions as facts and narratives as news. Trust what you saw on the field. You know what that means? Corey is speaking facts. Because if you want to go to a football game or a practice on the field, you gotta watch it with your own eyes. And don't believe what those, I don't know, those liars, those persons who claim like the best, because they they're not even going to step into the football. They're not even go to like to the practice squad or the practice field. I mean, man, I mean, to be honest right now, because look, I understand that I was graduated as a journalist. That I'm not gonna lie for this. I'm not gonna lie. Because I was graduated as a journalist. And I know everything about the difference between what's true and what's fake. But some of those beat writers from different teams, including Las Vegas, I mean, I don't know, didn't step to the football field for the first time. And the only thing is, they just wanted to love those attentions, creating narratives, creating fake news, and creating content for like clickbait. We don't play that shit. We won't. Because you know why? I understand. I understand where I come from. Because we don't want to play that shit. That clickbait, it's not for us. So that's why that I just create that podcast to to make sure the impact, culture, and of course, giving their opinion of what's happening on the Raiders' world, including the NFL, college football, college basketball, and the NBA. But between for like the team of Mason Graham, because I'm gonna be celebrating and I'm pounding for Mason Graham. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it will make so happy. With all those pieces that we already have to make a little lead from front defensive line, where you can get one to the left of the defense, but the race to remain for the players is pure osmosis. The quarterbacks have less time into the pocket, no run lanes. Let's just keep like adding blue chip talent in the first round that we can build the rest of the round. If we get hitting studs like Bowers in the first, sooner the rather later, that you can support a young quarterback, that would be really interesting. It's gonna be really interesting at that moment. So my options, and I'm just watching like the NFL combine and everything. But the reason then after that I was watching the NFL combine, and also shout out to the draft to get me in there to talking about like not only for the NFL combine but also like on other things for the Raiders. And I love that. I love that. But between for like the combine and the draft, also there's the free agency. I mean, there's like a lot of options coming up there because they're gonna really talk about this one. So I'm not kidding. So there's like a few names on the free agency, which is the quarterback Sam Darnold, Mac Jones, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. Also, they have Najee Harris, Khalil Herbert, David Moore, Marquise Brown, Aaron Banks, Trey Smith, Jared Reed, Solomon Thomas. Also, they got Quandre Diggs, Justin Reed. But there's like so many options to make it clear to the free agency, but I don't think it's gonna be playing it safe because number one, I don't like to get a free agency with Marquise Brown. You know why? Speed. He showed with the can outside in the slot, but I don't think it's gonna be the answer. He came back for injury. He was instantly get targets and playing time with the Chiefs. He went instantly like to wide receiver 2 before the draft, but I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen, to be honest. But one of those options that I would like to get involved with the free agency, which is DJ Reed. If we need to start like a cornerback to complement those players, if the price is right, I just wanted to like who follows the print? Who's gonna follow to everything? Also, there's another player, Chris Goodwin. You remember about those live streams that I just talking about Chris Goodwin? I mean, I know he's on the Brady connection, but he has a good receiver. But unfortunately, he had the bad injury. But I hope he's coming out for like the discount because the injury in the hall, he bends his back really strong. That could be happen. And there's like another player who I really love to see on the Raiders, Josh Sweat from the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, they're gonna be exciting. They're gonna be great because you know what? That dude is a monster. To be honest with you, but I think it's gonna be number one priority because as much as the people love Josh Sweat on the Philadelphia Eagles, he just responded like an Instagram post claiming he won't be returning for the 2025 season. But the people cannot afford what deserves. Because if they're gonna need like an insane amount of cap space in 2-3 years, what is gonna be time to I don't know to extend. But who else is gonna happen? I mean, if they're gonna need it, there's gonna be a lot of great because I know he ball out, but it's not like Miles Garrett. But it can land like at a great alternative to build like at a pass rush without losing picks. But I'm guessing like the prices just went up with the best edge rusher available. But I think that Josh Sweat could be benefit a lot to play into a stacked defensive line, and it's capitalized on adventurous matchups like anything given like at a ton of money. Well, not too much money, but he can perform. But I don't think is he elevate like the player to the other defensive. Not saying it's gonna be really, really tight, but I mean the entire unit is very nuts. I mean, if they're gonna have to do it with a solid roster, maybe they can do like a finish building of the roster, and it just need like to get over like the hump, but it don't make like the move, but it just get starting out but he definitely feel the need. Could be like a game record that he really dominates. And he coupled the tiers below that probably they just wanted to see. But I understand that Josh Strait could be very expensive. If you take a look at a look position, I mean, they need to get much out of that position, and good ones don't grow on trees. And this is pride in itself. Because when I just see like at all those, well, all the reactions, they just protect him at $18 million per year, which is just out of the top 10 free agents. And I just don't know as being good, but it's the best talent possible. But if you're gonna pay like a defensive end, then you gotta get out. Yep. Because I know that they're getting a lot of attention. Because that will benefit for like the shame that the Philadelphia Eagles rent will be expensive. Because I understand that Josh Sweat, it became so much perfect and they want to be productive, they want to steal the prey, but also they just wanted to think about like very familiar with the defense. Because I like to get in like Gia for like 2 years, and it's gonna be a very cheaper or expensive. It taken a lot of shots and plays in the draft where they're gonna address other positions like defensive edge, offensive line, and of course the quarterback and the running back. They're gonna happen a lot. That gonna be happening a lot. All right, so salute to Sophia. How's it going? Salute to you. All right, so right now, like I said it before, it's like a short stream, but I just wanted to get like a recap for everything. All right, so I don't want Shedeur Sanders to drafted on Las Vegas Raiders. And one of my options to the free agency is sign Chris Godwin and Josh Sweat. That's it. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here because I know it's gonna be like a rough day, and I promise that. Oh, I just wanted to let you know that I'm still struggling. I'm still doing content like every fucking day, and there is nothing that can stop me. Nothing. All right, so make sure to subscribe to Capitán Rafucho on YouTube, and of course, you can follow me on every social media at Snow is Twitter, Instagram, Rumble, TikTok, and Twitch. And I will see you there today at 5:30 p.m. because I'm gonna make a great preview of the UFC 313 with a special guest on the episode of the Combat Club. And there are a lot of surprises coming out there on my channel on YouTube, so you gotta stay tuned, folks. So I'll say, have a great morning, have a great Tuesday, yes, and of course, thank you very much for joining us for this episode of Straight Outta Nation. So I will see you there next time. Salute to you. Peace out.